Hello, you've caught me contemplating the nature of power. Can we do the contemplating effect, please?
Some people believe influence is power. Cue skit of Dave being influenced.
I'll make the tea! Some believe that money is power, and they've got a point. Money is what compels me to sit on this sofa and recycle the same jokes week in, week out. Pants, Dr. Pepper, Metal Gear.
Varys from Game of Thrones said in one of those dramatic, trailer-friendly bits of dialogue that power resides where men believe it resides.
Well, Varys, I believe that power resides in here, the PS4, and I've written a list of 8 games that will prove it to you.
We'll start with Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which you might think is the list feature equivalent of stuffing your face full of AAA ice cream before you even sniffed the indie salad starter. But indulge me, will you? I've not seen this footage of Nathan Drake's exquisitely sweaty face for at least 3 days, and I have to get my fix.
Whoa, look at his paws.
Now that's out the way, I can tell you about all the new stuff and how it makes Uncharted 4 one of the most exciting PS4 exclusives of 2015. There's a bunch of brand new animations allowing Drake to climb smoother, fight better, and get wetter when smacking a man under a waterfall. Combat takes place in larger, more open areas, so you can use stealth and environmental takedowns to much greater effect. And it features Troy Baker and Nolan North squeezed together for the very first time into a sexy voice actor sandwich.
This isn't actually a sexy voice actor sandwich. It's a Big Mac. I'm just using it for illustrative purposes.
Metal Gear. How many's that, Dave? Well, get used to it, because as well as containing ultra-rare trophies, a villain we secretly like, sneaky Easter eggs, epic intros, shocking endings, moments that will make you cry, amazing set pieces, tough platinum trophies, bosses we didn't want to kill, an awkward love scene, a PlayStation icon, and a gutting betrayal, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain also gets on this list as a massive game that proves the power of PS4. We've already had Ground Zeroes running at a sumptuous 60 frames per second and in 1080p, and now the open world main event is on the way, and it's going to be approximately 200 times the size.
I know cosmic figures like that are difficult to comprehend, so let's do one of those visual metaphors like they do in the Brian Cox science documentary.
I've come here to space to explain to Rob about scale and balls, because if Ground Zeroes was 1 tennis ball, then the Phantom Pain would be 200 tennis balls. And that's why I love PS4 and science.
Back in 2013, Tearaway was the game that made everyone sit up and say, "Oh my god, the PlayStation Vita can do that!" And this year, Tearaway Unfolded looks set to do exactly the same thing on PS4.
This isn't a remake or a sequel, more a reimagining of the original with all new features that'll turn your DualShock 4 into a do-everything wow machine. And when I say everything, I mean at least these 3 things from the Tearaway Unfolded trailer, which are making wind on the touchpad, sucking little papercraft animals inside the DualShock 4 just like the robots from Playroom, and using the DualShock 4's light bar to illuminate gloomy areas for your little papery protagonist.
Unfolded also encourages you to make lovely papercraft decorations like these butterfly wings, which is just nice, isn't it? Being asked to create something for a change.
Let's kill some giant cow things in a field. It's Final Fantasy 15 with its men in black shirts, obscenely pretty weather effects, and roads.
Roads? Said everyone. What is all this about roads? If I wanted roads, I'd just go outside on a road. This is Final Fantasy, not Final Roads.
And then we all calmed down and saw what a behemoth looks like on PS4 and realised that Square Enix probably knows what it's doing, seeing as how it's been making excellent games called Final Fantasy since 1987, and also how this is already the most beautiful role-playing game we've ever seen, and that's just a frog. The change in direction for the series is what excites us most. Combat is a dizzying mix of real-time action and teleporting up the side of skyscrapers. It looks better than CG spin-off movie Advent Children, for goodness sake. Plus the setting fuses concrete reality with that. It's a world that's huge and open, and despite the departures from tradition, still contains that indescribable Final Fantasy spark. And roads.
I'm on last minute now. There is one jacuzzi villa left, but it's kind of like separated from all the main ones. Yeah, it's in the wood. Yeah, it's got loads of other stuff. Yeah, a bed and a ceiling, and yeah, it's got a Ouija board. Have you got Channel 4 on? There's an advert on for it right now.
Views of some scary trees. Ignore the sight, go downstairs. This cabin.
Book your holiday at Killer's Cabin. Call 666-DIE-DIE-DIE now.
Shall I book it?
Who the chuffing hell decides to go and stay in that? Well, let's not be too angry. If it wasn't for idiotically curious groups of fictional teenagers, we wouldn't get games like Until Dawn, PS4's upcoming horror adventure starring Hayden Panettiere and lots of sharp objects. The best bit is that the outcome of the story is entirely dependent on how you play it. Everyone could survive, boring, or everyone could die. Excellent.
With eerily lifelike performance capture and a strong story, we reckon Until Dawn is just begging to be Let's Played. Don't you think so, Dave?
Ooh, tickle my hack and slasher, look at the graphics on that. This must be an enormous AAA action title heading to PS4, yes?
Almost. It's an enormous independent action title heading to PS4, and it's called Hellblade.
Don't make a face just because I said the I word. Hellblade is being cooked up by Ninja Theory, the team behind underappreciated action-adventure classic Enslaved Odyssey to the West and the recent and brilliant DMC Devil May Cry. We even went to the studio so we could film lots of complicated computer things we don't really understand, but that work really well when it comes to showing off how good the game is looking. So, ta-da! There's Hellblade being made right in front of you.
They're doing new things with facial animation, meaning that skin now stretches and wrinkles realistically depending on a character's facial expression, the idea being they now look like actual humans rather than Botox eggs with faces drawn on.
This is what Happy used to look like in games. After Hellblade, it's going to look more like this.
Our next title is Wild, a game with loads of animals. Oh, hello! If it isn't my new friend Delsin Rodent, a badger. What? Yeah, I know technically badgers aren't rodents, but can you think of a better pun than that? No, I didn't think you could. What do you want anyway? Well, you want to see if there are any badgers in Wild. Right, let's have a look then.
Well, Delsin, it's got a boar and some wolves and a creepy skeleton thing and some fish. And a big fish, and what the hell? What the bloody hell? But then why does it need to make any sense when it's as beautiful and soaringly original as this? Get me on the back of that eagle. Although, sadly...
Oh, Delsin, I'm sorry, man. It doesn't look like there are any badgers in Wild. Still looks good though, doesn't it?
Finally, we've got No Man's Sky, a timed PS4 exclusive that, unless you haven't been paying any attention over the last year, you already know all about. But let's just go over it one more time, because it's really fun. You've got a spaceship, there are dinosaurs, and it takes place in a procedurally generated universe so mind-frazzlingly enormous, it would take you until the heat death of our actual universe to fully explore it all. How on earth do you make sense of that?
I think I can help here. If you want to know how big No Man's Sky is, you've got to think in tennis balls. There are over 18 sextillion planets in No Man's Sky, which means that if Ground Zeroes is one tennis ball, then No Man's Sky is a billion, 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 and 74.
Thanks, Brian, that was illuminating, and thank you for watching. Let us know which of these games you're most excited about in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more of these list features from now until the heat death of YouTube servers every Friday.